Donald Trump. Also, the NCAA to start paying college athletes, and locals upset over St. Bonaventure's clubhouse shutting down. Plus, Bonnie's basketball season has begun. Sports has the highlights from the first men and women's exhibition games. SBU-TV starts now.
Good morning and happy November 1st. As you can see, we're ready for Christmas. I'm Amanda Oliver.
We are ready for Christmas, and I'm Madeline Edwards. Now let's get right to it. Morning commute reality check. Parts of western New York blanketed in snow right now. This photo coming into our newsroom within the hour. This is snowfall at the top of Chapel Hill Road in Great Valley. According to WGRZ in Buffalo, the wind gusts are also something to keep in mind today. Wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour are expected today. Stay safe as we head into the winter weather season.
For the fourth time in its history, the House of Representatives voted to initiate impeachment against the president. The vote, held largely along party norms of 232 to 196, only had 2 Democrats voting no. The vote set the base for the coming battle of bringing articles of impeachment against President Trump.
There's snow on cars this morning, meaning one thing: winter is on its way. I spoke to a meteorologist to get an outlook of what to expect. Leaves are falling off trees, and that means one thing: winter is coming. Many people reference the Farmer's Almanac for their long-range winter prediction, but is this source reliable? I spoke to meteorologist Jessica Camuto to find out what her predictions are for this winter and what sources you can trust.
Here across the Northeast, we're looking at a warmer than average winter, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to be seeing those colder temperatures.
She explained that snow is best predicted closer to the potential storm event. She personally forecast accumulation 2 to 3 days out, as that is when she feels she can give the most accurate prediction based on her research. She also told me what circumstances make it most likely for snow.
A system that comes through and it has a lot of moisture with it, and especially with the cold air environment, it has the greatest potential to produce a large amount of snow.
She also gave me some tips she'd give to her viewers for how to prepare for this season. And as you can see, the weather is unpredictable with winter on its way, and Jessica reminded me that it's very important that you have things in your car to ensure you're prepared for a winter storm. It's very important that you have an ice scraper and an extra winter jacket in case you get stranded. She does not recommend the Farmer's Almanac as a reliable source for your long-range forecast. She thinks your best bet is to watch your local meteorologist, as they know your area and how the weather works there. With SBU-TV, I'm Madeline Edwards. Make sure you're actively checking your local news and weather before you leave your house this winter to ensure your safety.
The fires in California are still burning with no end in sight. Strong winds of up to 60 miles per hour fanning the fires like a bellow to a hearth have created 2 new blazes along Southern California. These fast-moving fires causing the evacuation of approximately 30,000 people. Pacific Gas, an electric and natural gas company, staging 3 blackouts across the state, leaving some people trapped in the dark. This week, the NCAA reacted to several states proposing and passing a bill allowing college athletes to be paid for their name, image, and likeness.
In September, California passed a bill to allow college athletes to make money off their image and likeness. Shortly after, New York State Senator Kevin Parker proposed a bill that will force athletic departments to pay athletes. Name, image, and likeness mean that players can receive profit from their potential jersey sales, likeness being used in college video games, or endorsements they are offered. I talked to athletic director Tim Kenny, and he said he's glad they came to the decision, but says the NCAA has plenty left to do.
The NCAA's got a lot on their plate now to figure out, because if it comes out then it's not like, then we're going to be back to square one.
I asked Syracuse basketball writer and Bonaventure alumna Donna DeToda if she thinks this will impact the college basketball landscape.
For the vast majority of them, it's not going to affect them. It's going to affect all the guys at the Power 5 conferences and maybe some other guys other than that. But I don't see it really making a gigantic impact.
I asked senior Bonnie's basketball player Deja Logan after their exhibition game on Wednesday about the NCAA's decision.
It really didn't affect me. I don't think it affected anyone on the team that much. Like, we don't come to brand ourselves or anything like that. We just come to play basketball. So I don't think it affected us in any way.
On SBU-TV, candidates for the 57th district gave their opinions on this topic.
If the school is profiting off of their image and products, then I believe those students should see some of that financial return.
And then they should be able to basically reap some of the rewards financially that the schools are from their talents.
The NCAA says there will be clear distinctions to make sure athletes are not treated like professionals, but they have not said any specifics other than that the policy will fit in the collegiate model. For SBU-TV, I'm Isaiah Blakely, new, now, next.
The NCAA's 3 divisions must create their own rules for the policy by January 2021.
The ROTC department on campus recently flooded. SBU-TV's Justin Myers gives us the details.
Some of the ceiling tiles had fallen out and just pretty, looked like it was raining on the inside.
Early Monday morning, the ROTC department was flooded with water that damaged their ceilings and computers. The water that started the flood came from a ruptured hose that was attached to a washing machine in the Health and Wellness Center. I spoke with Cadet Shane O'Sullivan as he describes what the department looked like that night.
Out here, we were walking through inches of water. It was raining from the ceilings. So at that moment, we took it upon ourselves to try and get out as much stuff as we could, books, valuables. We went into some of the flooding offices and tried to get some of our cadre and staff members. We tried to get some of their valuables out of there so they wouldn't get ruined.
I also spoke with Captain David Enter on if the department should move to a safer location.
So right now I'm not tracking any sort of movement that's going to happen, but whatever the maintenance team decides to be best to help facilitate both of us, we're going to continue to support the maintenance team for Bonaventure and make sure we're here to facilitate and support whatever they need to do to make sure they can accomplish their mission.
Even though the department has damages, O'Sullivan says it doesn't affect their work.
Troubles like this happen, the work still doesn't stop for us.
For SBU-TV, I'm Justin Myers. New, now, next.
Jason Smith, Interim Director of Facilities Operations, said the university is working with their insurance company to determine the total cost of the damages.
After over 90 years, the St. Bonaventure Clubhouse demolished date has arrived. SBU-TV's Ethan Pryor took to the course to learn why locals are upset about its final days.
The St. Bonaventure Clubhouse, once a thriving hilltop restaurant venue, now only a memory. November 1st will mark the 2-year anniversary of its controversial condemning.
As you can see if you take a glance behind me, in just one short morning, the demolition is almost complete. I had the chance to sit down with some upset locals and talk to them about how they feel about the demolition and the general treatment of the building over the past few years.
An unnamed source told me that pipe bursts, piles of trash, and mold have been the story of the clubhouse over the past few years. Some still feel that the historic building could have been salvaged.
Personally, I'd like to see this renovated if at all possible. It's been here, since day one with the course, basically. And personally, there's a lot of good times, good memories, and history.
Tom Missel said the building at some point is just too far gone. There could only be so much done in repair efforts.
At some point, the lifespan of things, unfortunately, just runs out. I mean, we did look at possible renovations, but the renovations of it were so expensive. The building itself was dated, and the proposed new indoor-outdoor pavilion really makes a lot more sense for this space.
Missel has high hopes for the future project, an indoor-outdoor pavilion paid for through St. Bonaventure's partnership with Aramark.
There'll be a patio extending off of it, overlooking the hills back towards campus, so we're really looking forward to it being a beautiful facility.
For some, though, it's more than just a facility.
Just another piece of the local history that'll be lost.
For SBU-TV, I'm Ethan Pryor. New, now, next.
Missel said a final price tag for the project won't be known until the designs are finished, but the plan is to have the new structure ready for next golf season.
Oh, that's great. Now, up next, the Olean Times-Herald stopped printing on Sundays, and we find out why.
And I looked into a recent email scam here at St. Bonaventure. After the break, I'll give you some tips how to protect yourself. Stick around.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways. You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun? Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
What are you looking for?
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You may get an email for a job that looks enticing, but there's a chance it could be a scam. I have all you need to know about this email scam. I'm here on St. Bonaventure's campus, where early this month, I and many other students received a Best Buy local job opening email. The job offer is a scam used to make money off of college students. I have in my hand a fake check and instructions on what to do with it. On October 2nd, 2019, a local job opening scam was sent through a St. Bonaventure student's email. This email is used to become a Best Buy secret shopper. Once accepted, you will receive an approval text from a survey coordinator. From there, your secret shopper assignment would arrive in the mail with instructions and a check. The coordinator will constantly be in contact with you, encouraging you to complete your assignment in 48 hours. This is because they do not want you to find out the check is fake before you finish your assignment. The Federal Trade Commission has an awareness page for this scam, along with pages of victim stories. I tried to get a comment from the survey coordinator, David Barrow, but did not get a response. I spoke with Dr. Michael Hoffman, Chief Information Officer for Technology Services, to see what he had to say about the scam.
The IT department plays a vital role in protecting student email accounts. We do a couple things. One, we try to educate our students in safe computing so that they're not opening links that they shouldn't be opening or being careful about unknown emails and addresses in scams.
I also spoke with junior Hannah Miller to hear about her experience with this email scam.
When they sent a check and then it said like if you get a $100 bonus if you do it within the first 48 hours, that's when I kind of figured probably a scam because checks don't clear for 48 hours.
Bringing you new, now, next, I'm Amanda Oliver, SBU-TV. I don't know about you, Madeline, but I think I'm going to think twice about looking at my emails.
I for sure am too. That's so scary. Now, I hope everyone is driving safely, as there might be a speeding problem on a local road. Now, some residents living near Barnum Road off South Union Street have been complaining of a speeding problem. The problem has been going on for a number of years, and although the county lowered the speed limit from 55 to 45, speeding still seems to be an issue. SBU-TV's Brendan O'Leary will give you the full story next week as we talk to one of the residents.
If your Sunday morning routine involves a publication of the Olean Times-Herald, you may have to make some changes. According to a statement released earlier this week from the Olean Times-Herald, beginning this Sunday, November 3rd, there will no longer be a Sunday publication of the newspaper. This cancellation of the publication is due to the Olean Times-Herald teaming up with the United States Postal Office. The U.S. Postal Service will not deliver a newspaper on Sundays, and therefore the publication had to be canceled. Jim Bond, the publisher of the Olean Times-Herald, stated the previous delivery methods involving motor route carries was difficult to maintain. Instead of the Sunday paper, the Olean Times-Herald will release a weekend edition every Saturday morning to all subscribers, store racks, and vending machines. The Olean Times-Herald declined to comment. Coming up, SBU-TV met with Mayor Pumpkinville.
Plus, we have sports with the update on Bonnie's basketball. Now, Amanda, you're a women's basketball player, so how did that exhibition game go?
It went great, and I can't wait to start Tuesday.
Wow. Well, stay with us.
Thank you.
What are you looking for?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. November is Native American Heritage Month. This month is dedicated to celebrating the culture, traditions, and history of Native Americans. Starting in 1990, this is the 29th year November celebrates the American Indian culture. Just down the road, Salamanca is home to the Seneca Nation.
The end of Halloween means two things this time of year. Snow is on its way and Pumpkinville is closed for the season. The popular fall attraction wrapped up its 51st season in the business yesterday. SBU-TV's Tommy Valentine took a trip to Great Valley to find out more about the man behind Pumpkinville and how he keeps his customers coming back every year.
He's called the mayor of Pumpkinville, and like any great mayor, Dan Pulowski knows what the people want.
The entertainment portion here is a big thing. Corn mazes, hay rides, our jump pillows, our fun zone. Now we have the carousel this year, our Pumpkinville Express train. Pumpkins, although this is Pumpkinville, have become a very small portion of our business. You can buy pumpkin anywhere. People want to be entertained.
In his 24th year as the owner of Pumpkinville, it was another successful season. But for Dan, his success is also the community's success.
We're bringing 100,000 people into this community in 6 weeks' time. They're buying gas, they're stopping at the restaurants, they're going everywhere. This is big economic impact here.
And what makes the tens of thousands of people that come to Pumpkinville each season all the more impressive is the fact that it's not located in any particularly popular area. I'm standing right next to Route 86, the road that leads you to Pumpkinville, and as you can see, not much traffic in either direction, which means people are willing to go out of their way to make the trip to Pumpkinville, and clearly it's well worth it for them. And while making an impact in the community is something Dan certainly strives for, what gets him out of bed each morning is the love he has for his family, which is the heartbeat of this family-run business.
He does everything for his family, and I think, you know, that's a really special thing about being part of a family business is you're not just working for someone else, you're working for your entire family, and he does that better than anybody I know. Everything he does is for his family.
For Dan, Pumpkinville isn't just a business. After 24 years, it's something that defines him.
It means a lot to us. We take this extremely, this is who we are and what we do. It recognizes our family, and everyone knows about this, and that we're the people that run this, and we're darn proud of the job we do here. We work really hard at it and really cut no corners.
A business owner, farmer, mayor, and at the core, a family man. Tommy Valentine, SBU-TV, New Now Next.
Dan said that he plans to still run Pumpkinville for a few more years, but he's beginning to groom his daughter Lisa and his son June to take over the business down the road.
This weekend, a local pumpkin shoot plans to help the children in Olean. Besecker and Koss organized a pumpkin shoot for Sunday, November 3rd. It's $15 for a team of 3 to launch a pumpkin at the Targets for a cash prize behind the Besecker and Koss building. All proceeds go to Shop with a Cop. Local children are given money to go shopping for Christmas presents with an Olean police officer. Organizer Lynn Zalepa told us what their goals are this weekend.
Police officers coincide with the teachers of the schools and pick kids to go shopping for Christmas time for presents for their parents and relatives and things. And they give them a monetary donation. And they can only usually do 6, I was told, but we're hoping for 36 to 40 kids.
After the break, we're going to take a look at All Souls Day and what it means to our community.
Plus, Bonnie's basketball is back. In case you missed the exhibition game, we have the results and the win. Stick around.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
A Dog's Way Home is the story of the extraordinary lengths a dog will go to in order to get back to their family. Every year, millions of dogs and cats end up in shelters and rescue groups. We found our Bella at a shelter in Tennessee. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover they're all pure love. Adopt pure love and help a shelter pet find their way home at theshelterpetproject.org.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Halloween isn't the only holiday this week.
November 2nd marks the celebration of All Souls Day. This is a Catholic holiday that honors the deceased by praying for their souls to enter heaven. It is often celebrated with All Saints' Day on November 1st, but it is not the same thing. Deacon Matt from the Basilica of St. Mary of the Angels here in Olean offered his view on why the holiday is important.
I guess you could say that All Souls Day is a reminder of our need to change in our life and to live our relationships as if they could end tomorrow.
St. Bonaventure celebrates All Souls Day in a big way. Here, alumni are able to send in names of their loved ones beforehand to be honored for the holiday. Since the beginning of October, the Alumni Office has received about 14,000 names to be honored at this Mass. Father Dan Riley is the one who celebrates the All Souls Mass here at St. Bonaventure. And when I spoke to him, he said it's not about reading names off a list, but it's about coming together as a community and remembering your fellow loved ones around a table, much like the altar you see behind me. And that is what makes All Souls Day important. Father Dan told me about the bond he has created with Bonaventure students while celebrating All Souls Day.
The reason why I'm in their life is that they had lost a parent or a sibling when they were undergraduates, and they just stayed in touch with me. Then I reached out to them, they did to me, and over the years, that bond continued.
The received names will be honored at every St. Bonaventure Mass for the rest of November, and the Basilica will be holding Mass at 7 a.m. on Friday. SBU-TV, new, now, next.
St. Bonaventure will begin honoring names at this Sunday's Mass. Now over to Ryan McSpedden with sports.
Thanks, Maddie and Amanda, and welcome everybody to SBU-TV Sports. I'm Ryan McSpedden. Bonnie's basketball is back, and Olean High School football is in contention for the Class B championship. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump straight into it. Olean takes a 3-game win streak into its semifinal matchup tonight. They look to continue their playoff run, as our Matt Shalou has more.
Last week, the Olean football team upset number 2 ranked Newfane in the first round of the Section 6 Class B playoffs. The Huskies won the game by a final score of 26-24, setting them up with a game at Albion tonight at 7. This Olean football team has not lost since their last matchup against Albion on October 4th. The Albion Purple Eagles got the best of the hometown Huskies, winning by a final score of 49-26. However, since that game, the Huskies are winners in 3 straight and look to ride that momentum into tonight's matchup.
Now I'm standing here across the street from Bradner Stadium where Olean High School plays their home games. Yesterday, I went down to their practice field to watch them practice, and after the practice, I caught up with head coach Bill Vecchio and asked him about how their regular season matchup with Albion will help them prepare for tomorrow night's playoff rematch.
We feel lucky that we have a chance to get a rematch with Albion. We know that we didn't play our best up there the first game, and we have an opportunity to go up and try to correct some wrongs that we feel we can improve upon and give Albion our best shot for a chance to go to the stadium.
Senior captain linebacker Nick Fredericangelo built off of his coach's statements.
We all know we didn't really play our best game against Albion the first time, so I think we're just going to come out there, everybody's going to do their job. I think we're going to have a good shot at them.
Reporting for SBU-TV Sports, I'm Matthew Shalou.
Men and women's basketball teams had their first action of the year Wednesday at the Riley Center. The women shrugged off a slow start to win in convincing fashion. Let's take a look at the highlights. The women's basketball team tipped off their exhibition game against Cortland University, defeating them 68-54. Despite the dominant win, head coach Jesse Fleming still believes his team has a lot to learn.
It's going to give us a ton of film to just show it doesn't matter who you play, if you're not locked in mentally to do the things right, that any team can make you pay. I'm glad we got to learn the lesson with a win tonight, but there's going to be a lot of tough lessons down the road if we don't learn some lessons right now.
The women's first game is Tuesday, November 5th, 5 o'clock at the Riley Center against St. John's. Students and fans packed the Riley Center as the men kicked off their centennial season with an exhibition game against Alfred University. Even after the Bonnies' 45-point blowout, head coach of the men's basketball team, Mark Schmidt, is looking to see underclassmen step up and show improvement on both sides of the ball.
A lot of things that we need to work on, both defensively and offensively. We need 2 or 3 of the young guys to help us. They played for the most part, played the whole second half, and I thought they like I said, they did some good things, and they did some not so good things that we need to work on. But like I said, we need to have 2 or 3 of those guys step up and play like veteran guys.
The men open up against Ohio University Tuesday, November 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Riley Center. That's all the time we have for SBU-TV Sports. Tossing it back over to you, Maddie and Amanda.
Snow on the brain before we leave you. Do you have friends or family in Chicago? Halloween plans stumped in the Windy City. Lake effect snow fell through the city for most of yesterday. In this video, you can see people trying to manage the first snowfall of the season. I guess there's no denying that winter is slowly arriving. Now, thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and don't forget to stay up to date with us on our social media. Both are professional and personal. I'm Madeline Edwards.
And I'm Amanda Oliver. Remember to tune in live Wednesdays and Friday at 10 a.m. on SBU TV. Have a fun and safe weekend. Thank you.